Hello guys, and welcome to another car obsession walk around. Now last week I had the cheap and cheerful Suzuki Celerio. This week I've got something more premium though. It's bigger and it's also, well, words escape me, it's very nice indeed. So let's just show you the car, shall we? So, it is of course the Alfa Romeo Giulia. Now, it's not a quadrifoglio, so it's not the super fast one, but it doesn't matter because I'm still very excited to have this car for a week. Now, let's pop this on my head and let's have a look around, shall we? Ah, that's nice. I can hear the robins tweeting in the background. Very nice indeed. But not quite as nice as this car. Now, as many of you will know, it's the rival to the Mercedes C-Class and the BMW 3 Series. And whilst they're not bad looking cars, for me the Giulia just has that special something. It has that emotional attachment. It has something that, let me do it this way so you don't have to see my shadow. It has something that pulls at your heartstrings, well, my heartstrings at least. Now, many question the reliability of Alfa Romeo, and the brand, you know, is known for reliability issues, but I can't see there being too many issues with the Giulia. But of course, we will learn more about that in time. But yes, a very beautiful car. Hopefully, I'm giving you some decent angles here. So let's take a walk around the car. That might be an idea, bearing in mind it's a walk around video. So you've got 18-inch alloys. Let me come down like so you can get a better view. Now these aren't for standard alloys. These are optional. So you do get 18-inch alloys as standard, but these are different 18-inch alloys, and these will cost you £595. Now they're very nice, but they do remind me of a Ford Focus ST, which is by no means a bad thing, but I actually prefer the standard alloys that come with this car. So if I were speccing a Giulia, I'd probably stick with the standard alloys. And for those of you that are wondering what they look like, I will insert a picture into this video now. There we go. So let me know which wheels you prefer, if you prefer standard wheels or if you prefer these wheels. So you've probably clocked already the red interior. We'll have a closer look at that in a bit. So the alloys aren't the only optional thing on this car. In fact, this car's got over £5,500 worth of options on it. So yes, it has been specced out quite well. So you've got the you've got the tinted rear windows. That will cost you £275. They are an option. This very gorgeous sunroof, well, very wet and dirty actually, sunroof, that will cost you a whopping £1,250. Yes, it is quite an expensive option. And we come around to the rear, which is even dirtier than the sunroof. That's the problem with having a white car. Speaking of which, the white paintwork is optional, so it's a solid colour, and it will cost you £350. So it's a very sporty look. So this is the mid-range model. It's a Speciale. You get 2 exhaust pipes at the back, a rear diffuser, making it look all very sporty indeed. So the Speciale would normally cost you around £35,500, give or take, but this particular model with all the options is just over £41,000. Let's jump in and show you the very nice interior. This model has got keyless entry, but that is another option. At this point you're probably thinking, is anything on this car standard? But this car does come with a lot of standard goodies, first of which are these very sumptuous seats. Now, as a rule, I'm not normally a big fan of red leather, but in the Alfa it works. I don't know whether it's because it's Italian. You know, it's got the beauty, the soul, the passion, the flair, and all of those cliches. But the red interior really works in this car. Now I've driven 1 or 2 BMWs which had a red leather interior, and for me it didn't work. But yes, in the Alfa, very nice indeed. Let's jump in, like so. Oh, these seats are lovely. They're like armchairs. And close the door like so. So I've read a few reviews on the Giulia, and a few people have said that the inside isn't quite as premium as the Mercedes C-Class and the BMW 3 Series. Some people have said that it feels a bit plasticky in places. Now, I've not sat in a C-Class or a 3 Series, so it's difficult for me to really give you a comparison. But the inside of the Giulia is very nice indeed. Of course, you've got a lovely soft touch dashboard. It's nice and squidgy. It's like a marshmallow. You've got the red leather interior, which is standard. Well, well, the leather interior is standard, but you can have red, which won't cost you any more, or if this is a bit too bold for your liking, then you can have black or brown, but red, I think red with a white paint does look really good. The leather extends onto the dashboard as well, and you've got these nice details here. They're not really, they kind of look like a carbon fibre look, but they're not really. It's quite difficult to explain it, but hopefully you can get a good idea of it. But that does look quite smart, and you've got it on the, it doesn't move. Ah, there we go. And then, I see. You've got 2 cup holders, as you can see. A very small door bin. You wouldn't fit much in there, if I'm honest. And you've got this cubby hole, which looks quite big to begin with, but lift it up and you will find it's not a great deal of space in there, but you can fit your wallet in there, maybe some loose change or a packet of mints, whatever it may be. So let's turn on the ignition, and my seat slides forward for my driving position. The seats adjust electronically, and the steering wheel has got a good level of adjustment to it as well, so no problems at all getting a good driving position. As you may have noticed, it's an automatic gearbox, 8-speed auto. It's the 8-speed or 7-speed. I'll have to pop a subtitle in to correct myself. I believe it's an 8-speed automatic, but if it's 7-speed, I will correct myself. So the automatic is the only option in the UK, so you can't have the manual version in any of the Giulia models in the UK, which I find a bit surprising, but there must be a reason for it. But although I must imagine all that sun's quite bright, let me pop that down like so. That's better. So I imagine a lot of people buying this car in the UK would opt for the automatic anyway if they were given the choice. But it would be nice to have the choice of a manual. You've got this nice touchscreen here. Let's go through the options. Let's see. There we are, like so. And you've got this nice rotary down here, so it's not touchscreen, but sometimes when you're on the move, a rotary system does work better. You've got dual zone climate control, and I'll tell you one feature I really like: the start button on the steering wheel. Yes, I can't explain how much I love that feature. I know it sounds sad and a bit pathetic, but yeah, that's really cool. The inside is a very nice place to be. Everything's got a nice soft touch to it. And even the plastics on the steering wheel feel nice. They've got a nice soft touch. The actual when you press them in, it's quite a soft, springy like action. Trying to think of the best way of describing it, but they've got the buttons have got a nice damping to them, if that makes sense. They just feel nice and tactile. Let's have a look at the glove box. The glove box at first does look quite big, but if anything, it's kind of there to accommodate the very nice owner manual. I'm not really sure. Could you fit much more in there? Not really. No, so it's not the biggest glove box to go in. But yes, the inside is a very nice place to be. This is somewhere where I can spend a lot of time. But let's have a look at the space in the rear, shall we? So, like so. Right. Lift that up. Oh, just knocked my other GoPro. Not very clever. Right. Step into the back, which is a tad difficult because this wheel arch does protrude a little bit, but it should be okay. Oh, shut up with your bonging. So as always, the seat's been altered for myself. I'm 6'2", so I'm definitely a tall guy, and the rear legroom is pretty good. Got no complaints there. And a nice feature is that the back of the seat, you may not see it, these panels here, they sculpt inwards to give you a bit more knee room, and I do rather like that feature. That's quite a clever feature. The headroom for me isn't very good though, and I think that's mainly because of this very nice sunroof. Now, you know, don't get me wrong, it is nice, but when you bear in mind it's £1,250 and it does eat into the headroom, I personally don't think I would spec it. Although space in the front is fine, but yeah, in the back I'm having to kind of slump forward a little bit, so that's not ideal. Now you can seat 3 people in the back, but because you've got the transmission tunnel here, it just means that if you were to sit in the middle, the legroom wouldn't be fantastic for you, but that's one of the pitfalls of it being rear wheel drive. If it were front wheel drive, you wouldn't have that issue. Right, let's have a look at the boot. I need to get out now. Oh, just trying not to get any marks on these lovely red seats. Right. Okay, I'm out. Success. Right, let's have a look at the boot. Now, obviously, I wouldn't park the car like this normally, but it just makes it easier to get to the back. A very dirty back. That's very grimy indeed. Right, lift it up like so. Whoop. So let's bend down so you can see it. So you're looking at 480 litres worth of space, which is exactly the same. Which is exactly the same as the C-Class and the 3 Series. So don't think that you're going to get any more or indeed any less boot space than its rivals, because remarkably it's exactly the same as its rivals. But as you can probably see, it's quite a nice size. I've got a few items in there to give you some perspective, and I'm going to be using these later as well. So tripod, well, probably won't need the umbrella, but you never know, this is Britain. Camera slider and my trusty car obsession bag, which is looking very worse for wear and needs to be replaced. But yes, let's see, what's that for? Ah, does that fold down the rear seats? Now, I was trying to work this one out earlier and I couldn't quite do it. Ah, that's how you do it. Ah, I see. Right, sorry, don't mind me. Now, speaking of the rear seats, they are... Oh, little Robin. Oh, hello, little Robin. So you've got 40, 20, 40 seats. My word, it is a loud Robin, isn't it? Yes, so if you have longer items such as skis, if you're going away on a ski and a holiday, you can feed them through here, and the middle seat is very easy to fold down. Let me show you like so. So you've got a little pull tab here. Shut up. And then you can feed them through here. Let me turn it off because it's where I've left the ignition on. So that's going to become annoying very quickly. There we go. Shh, quiet now. Right, let me show you the engine. Now, earlier it took me ages to find the bonnet release, and it's all the way down here where you can't see it. Now, I just happened to do that, and I found it. So look, it's right there. But when you let go, it goes back into its hiding place. So yeah, that did take a few moments to find. But anyway, around we come. So, okie dokie, so here we go. So what you're looking at is a 2.2 litre diesel, which will offer you 178 brake horsepower, but this engine is also available with 148 brake horsepower. It's got 450 newton meters of torque. That means it will hit 62 miles per hour in 7.1 seconds, and the top speed is 143 miles per hour. So although it's not as fast as the Quadrifoglio, of course it isn't, it hasn't got the same amount of power, it definitely isn't a slouch. Now, in regards to other engines, you can have a 2 litre petrol, which offers 197 brake horsepower, or you can have another 2 litre petrol which offers 276 brake horsepower, or you can of course have the hairy chested 2.9 litre V6 engine which offers 503 brake horsepower, but of course that's only to be had in the Quadrifoglio. But what about economy? Now, one of the good things about the diesel that it does offer good economy. So it will offer up to 67.3 miles to the gallon on the combined run, and in regards to CO2 emissions, they are 109 grams per kilometre. So if you're looking to use this as a company car, this should do you well. Right, okay, let's pop that down like so. Marveloso. So yes, this is the car that I've got for this week, and I can't believe I'm saying that, because I've been trying to get one of these for months, literally months. Actually, in fact, the first time I approached Alfa Romeo to get one of these was September 2016. So yes, I've been very patient to get one of these. But yes, let me know what you think, guys. If you have any questions about the car, please let me know, or if you've got any questions about the specs of the car or anything I didn't quite cover in this video, please let me know. There will of course be a full review coming at some point, whether that's this week or next week, I'm not too sure. It depends how long it takes to put the edit together. But yes, here we go. Let's have one last walk around the voluptuous Alfa Romeo Giulia. very pretty car indeed. Very pretty. Very nice. Yes. Now, I'm very much a hot hatch kind of person, but I could definitely get used to seeing that parked in my parking bay. Anyway, let's call it a day there. I hope you have enjoyed that video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more car obsession.